Hello, my name is Abby with Tuxedo Bird Creations. Thank you for joining me today and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to do the lace cluster stitch. Before we begin, if you like my tutorials, please subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified of new patterns and stitch tutorials on my website, feel free to subscribe to my newsletter at tuxedobirdcreations.com, where you can find all of my patterns, as well as my stitch library that is growing weekly with a new stitch added every Tuesday on Stitch Tutorial Tuesday. Now this stitch is called lace clusters, and you can see that it's a little lacy, very holey, and it has these little puff clusters in there, and it makes for like a really nice drape. So this would be really nice for like a shawl or a scarf or any sort of garment, or even like maybe a placemat for the table. But it's really, really pretty lacy stitch, and it's actually fairly easy. So to start, we just need to chain in multiples of 6 plus 5 at the end. So for this tutorial, I'm going to do 18 stitches plus 5, so 23 altogether. Go ahead and chain as many as you would like, as long as it's a multiple of 6 plus 5 at the end, and meet me back here at the end. So to begin, now that we have our desired number of chains, we're going to be starting from the 4th chain on the hook, so the loop does not count as a chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to be starting in that 4th chain from the hook, and what we'll be doing is a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, all in that 4th chain from the hook. So double crochet, chain 2, and then a double crochet right into that same chain. And it's going to create a little V. So from here we skip the next 2 chains and we start our very first half double cluster. So to do that, you yarn over, insert your hook into that chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. You should have a total of 9 loops on your hook here. So that is the beginning of the cluster. So all you need to do now is just yarn over and bring through all loops, and then chain 1 to secure. And that is your first cluster. So then we're going to skip the next 2 and double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the next chain here. So double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, all in that same chain. And then we're going to do another cluster. So we're going to skip 2 and do another half double cluster. So yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, bring up a loop, yarn over, bring up a loop. And again, remember, it's 4 times you do this for a total of 9 loops on your hook. Yarn over and bring through all of those loops. Can get a little tricky. And then chain 2, secure. So go ahead and do that pattern for the rest of the row. So remember, it's a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, and you're skipping 2 chains in between each of those that you're doing. So skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, skip 2, and then a half double cluster. So go ahead and do that till the end, and I'll meet you at the end of your row. Okay, so we're at the end of our row. We have 3 chains left. So we just did our last puff or cluster here. So now we're going to skip the last 2 and we're just going to do that double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into the very last chain here. Okay, and that is row 1. So you'll see you have alternating little V's and clusters in these. So to move on to row 2, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn our work. And what we want to do now is we're going to skip this right here because this is going to count as a double crochet. So we're going to do a cluster right in this V right here. And you'll see that the the clusters are alternating for each row. So it gets a little easier as you go on to see where exactly you need to put everything now that the first row is done. So within these V's, you're going to be doing a cluster. And then on top of these puffs or these clusters, you're going to be doing the double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So in this first chain 2 chain space, you're going to do a cluster, half double cluster. So remember, you're yarning over and pulling up a loop 4 times for a total of 9 on your hook. And then pulling through all and chaining 1 to secure. And then in the top of this cluster here, you are going to do your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. And then in the next V here, you're going to do another cluster. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over, pull up a loop. Pull through all, chain 1. My yarn does not want to stay over here. And then in the top of the next cluster here, you're just going to do your double crochet, stitch, chain 2, and a double crochet again to create that V. And then in this one, we're going to do a cluster. So continue doing this pattern till the end of your row and meet me at the end so I can show you what to do next. Okay, so we have completed row 2 all the way to the end, and to keep things even, we're going to need to add a double crochet, whoops, in this little space here to create a nice edge. So you have your last puff here in that last V. So we're just going to double crochet right into this space here. And that will keep the edges nice and neat. So from here, you chain 3, turn your work, and you'll see that now we're starting with a cluster. So you now know that V's go above clusters and clusters go in the V's. So from here, we're just going to double crochet, chain 2, and then double crochet. And then in the next V, we're going to do a cluster, half double cluster. Chain 1 above the cluster, and then above the next cluster, you just do your double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So go ahead and continue this down the line until you get to the end, and I'll show you how to finish off this row. Okay, so you'll see for row 3, we end on a V, and we do need to connect that edge to create that straight edge on either side. So what we're going to do is just chain in this third chain here. We're gonna, we're gonna double crochet in this chain right here to create that nice edge. And there you have it. So from here, what you would do is just continue to repeat rows 2 and 3 until you get your desired length. It's a fairly easy stitch to learn, fairly quick to work up as well. And it would be great for so many projects, and I would love to hear what you would use this stitch for, so feel free to drop me a comment. And that's pretty much it, and you get this wonderful effect. Has a wonderful drape, so it could be used for many, many things, and I'd love to hear what you would use it for. Thank you for joining me today for this tutorial, and again, if you like my videos and want to stay updated, subscribe to my channel or subscribe to my newsletter at tuxedobirdcreations.com. Happy crocheting!